Welcome to our guide through CloudTalk's CallFlow Designer, a tool that helps you effectively manage your inbound calls. In 14 detailed steps, we will explain how to make the most of our CallFlow Designer and transform your customer support team into a well-oiled machine. If you want to navigate to a specific step, click on the Open Chapters button in the bottom right corner of the video at any point. So let's dive into it. In CloudTalk, you can design and fully customize your call flows for each individual phone number. First, go to the dashboard menu and choose Numbers. From the list, choose a desired number and click the blue pencil next to it. CloudTalk will redirect you to the number's CallFlow Designer. To edit the phone number, click on the gear icon next to it. First, assign it a name, so you can stay organized and easily find it later on. Furthermore, you may allow or disallow agents to pause call recordings or use company settings. Below, you see an option to enable or disable call recording and mandatory call tagging. You can also leave this feature in the company settings. If you enable mandatory call tagging, your agents will have to assign a label after each call. For example, they can label it as interested. It may look like something that takes up valuable time, but this is not the case. In fact, mandatory call tagging is a great way to keep track of your caller's intentions. Let's say that you label your call as lead. Now, you immediately know that this contact is interested in your service. Mandatory call tagging also allows you to filter out irrelevant data when you only want to view the statistics of certain call types. For example, it can be your emergency contact for urgent cases. A phone call to this number will be prioritized within queues and get assistance immediately. You can also use VIP tags for an individual client. If a VIP labeled contact calls to any of your numbers but rings to a group where you assign their respective VIP tag, their call is prioritized. Marking a contact as VIP shows your most important clients that they truly matter to you. By tending to them before anyone else, you are proving your care and loyalty. Read more on VIP tags in the link above. Next, you can configure business hours and international calls. Business hours are a set time frame when your agents are available for answering calls. In business hour settings, you can decide whether you want to receive calls during holidays, upload a personalized message that informs about your availability, set voicemail for outside of business hours, choose your operation days and time range, or add an exception. In exceptions, you can enable calls during a time frame that would otherwise be restricted. Let's say you disabled calls for all holidays, but you want to receive calls during Christmas. Just set the date on 25th of December. Decide on operating hours, for example 8 a.m. until 12 p.m, and continue assisting clients like it was any other business day. Keep in mind that setting up business hours on an individual level overrides company level settings. Now, let's take a quick look at international calls. In this setting, you can enable or disable calls from specific countries. For example, if you have a missed call from an Angolan phone number, but you restricted Angola in your settings, you won't be able to call the contact back. To keep your business safe, we recommend always enabling only those countries that are important for your business. Keep in mind that setting up international calls on an individual number level overwrites your company settings. If you don't customize business hours and international numbers, the system will automatically apply the default settings. Before we dive deeper into how to create a whole new call flow, here's a simple way to save time and reuse an existing one. In the top right corner, you can see a Copy Call Flow button. Here, you can choose from two buttons. The Pick Just a Few option lets you copy steps or nodes individually one by one. Simply tick the boxes under the desired nodes, click on Save Workflow Copy, and CloudTalk will structure them in a reusable call flow chain. The second option, Select All Nodes, copies an entire call flow. Pasting the call flow is very simple. Click on the plus button wherever you want to add it, and from the menu, choose the very last option, Add Saved Flow. Your copied workflow is implemented instantly without the need to recreate it step by step. Now let's take a look at how to route your calls to a specific agent. As usual, locate the step where you want to insert this function and click on the plus icon. From the pop-up menu, select Call to Agent. Next, choose an agent to whom the call should ring and for how long. The standard is around 20 seconds. But of course, you can set the time that suits you. Step number 4, route calls to favorite agent. Next is the call to favorite agent feature. You can assign a favorite agent to any contact in an individual contact setting. Simply go to Contacts in your CloudTalk dashboard, find a specific contact, and click on the blue magnifying glass icon. In the upper right corner, you'll see Edit Contact Info. Once you enter, scroll down to Favorite Agent and select an agent. Then click on Save Changes. Assigning a favorite agent is also possible through third-party integrations. Check out our knowledge base articles in the link above for more information. In order to apply the Call to Favorite Agent feature to your workflow, open the menu in the CallFlow Designer window and select the Call to Favorite Agent button. After the settings open, simply write down how long the call should ring. As in the case of Call to Agent setting, an optimal ringing time is 20 seconds. But once again, this depends solely on your unique business needs. Now everything is set, what happens next? When the caller reaches the Call to Favorite Agent step during the incoming call, and there is a favorite agent assigned to their profile, the call will be automatically routed to the specific agent. If there is no favorite agent assigned, CloudTalk will skip this step. The benefit of Call to Favorite Agent is pretty straightforward. Let's assume that you have an agent who communicates with the client regularly and really knows them well. By connecting the specific client with the specific agent, there is no need for lengthy explanation. They can go straight to business and eliminate any potential client frustration with having to explain themselves. Step number 5, route calls to group. Besides Call to Agent, you can also utilize the Call to Group setting. You can create a group in the group settings. Click on the link above to learn now. In this video, we will just focus on how to add the Call to Group step into your call flow. From the pop-up menu, choose Call to Group. Now select a group to which you want to route the calls and for how long the call should ring. When choosing the group, think of the type of phone calls agents will be answering. A Spanish-speaking group is the best fit for Spanish-speaking clients. A finance department is an obvious choice for answering billing questions, and so on. Consider also the inbound call strategy you assign for the respective group in the group settings. This can be either ring all, random, or round robin. With the round robin and random strategies, the call will only ring to a chosen agent. When the agent doesn't pick up within the ringing timeout, let's say in 10 seconds, CloudTalk will keep transferring it to other agents until someone answers. In the case of round robin, to one agent after another. And in the case of a random strategy, to any available agent without a specific order. This will keep happening over and over within an amount of time you set in the time to wait on this step setting. That's why we recommend using at least 60 seconds. More about ring strategies and on how to set up skill-based routing in the link above. Now, after adding Call to Agent, Call to Favorite Agent, or Call to Group to your call flow, you will see two separate branches. One prompts you to decide what will happen if the call is answered. The other one sets a scenario for when the call goes unanswered. For answered calls, you can, for example, add a post-call survey. We will share more about the post-call survey in our next video. For missed calls, there are plenty of steps you can use. For example, a call to option, a voicemail, an external number redirection, and many more. We will go through all of these later. Step number 6, use playback messages. We have already mentioned the playback setting, but now let's take a look at how you can use it. Playback is a predefined recording which can automatically play to your customers in various scenarios. A typical use of playback is before voicemail. You can inform callers about an option to leave you a message and instruct them when to start speaking. To add this step, click on the plus icon and choose Playback. Now you need to select a specific message. You can upload a new recording, record the message directly in the settings, or in the case you have already uploaded the message previously, choose the desired recording from the menu. Simply write its name into the Search for Sound text field and locate it in Filter Options. Here you will also find a sound that you have recorded directly in the settings. Furthermore, CloudTalk gives you an option to choose our pre-recorded messages. You can locate them in your dashboard menu under Account and Sounds. To find it in playback settings, write the name of the respective recording into the Search for a Sound field. Step number 7, set up a voicemail. Talking about voicemail, let's look at how to add one into your call flow. First, select which group or agent should receive the voicemail. As a next step, decide whether you do or don't want them to receive a voicemail notification via email, and whether or not you want to attach the voicemail recording. If you decide to send the voicemail notification, or notification plus voicemail recording to a group, CloudTalk will send it to an email associated with that specific group. With both settings, you can decide to use general company settings. Read more about general voicemail settings in the link above. Voicemail is a great way to ensure that no inbound call goes unanswered, no matter if the client called during holiday, outside of your business hours, or all of your agents were currently busy. This way, you won't lose a single customer interaction. Step 8. Redirect call to external number. Next, let's take a look at the redirect call to an external number setting. As the name suggests, it will allow you to route the call to any number outside of CloudTalk or to another CloudTalk number. You also must set time for how long the call should ring to an external number before the next step is initiated in your call flow. The optimal time is at least 30 seconds. As a next step, add an external number where you want the call to be routed. Just keep in mind that these are outbound calls, so you are probably being charged for them. There are several cases when it's worth it to redirect your call. Obviously, you want to provide the best customer experience possible. First case, disaster prevention. Even the smallest issue can harm a business. When your client faces an emergency, offering a line for urgent cases can save them a lot of trouble. And what's more, is it shows your business as a loyal and caring business. Another use case is remote work. Is your agent working from home without access to CloudTalk's application? Are they on the go with no internet connection? Call redirecting lets them attend to clients anytime, wherever they are. Step number 9, change an outbound caller name. Next, CallFlow Designer allows you to change an outbound caller name. A great way to protect you, your agents, or even your client's privacy. When you redirect calls to a personal phone number, chances are they don't want everyone to see it. After clicking on a Change of the Outbound Caller Name tab, you'll be prompted to add a made-up number, which the client will see while receiving a call from a real number. For example, if a third-party company covers for you outside of your business hours, you might want to change an outbound caller name to something that quickly identifies you. The company will immediately recognize which calls are coming from you, and you will protect clients' personal information. Step number 10, manage call recording. Let's proceed to call recording. It's pretty simple. After clicking on the plus icon and choosing it from the CallFlow Designer menu, you can either enable or disable the feature. However, this simple setting has a huge impact on your business. First, recording your calls provides a great learning opportunity. You can replay them to your agents as a positive or negative example of client interaction. You may also search for the most common mistakes and build up a training course based on your findings, or use the recordings during a performance assessment. Nothing's a better judge than listening to actual phone calls. Then there is compliance. In case you need to check whether or not agents are following regulatory requirements, recording is the easiest way. The same goes for potential disputes. Call recording is evidence of whether there is an actual issue or it's simply a misunderstanding. Furthermore, call recordings provide an archive of important information and an easy way to access them. On the contrary to previous examples, disable the feature for cases when clients don't agree with being recorded. Call recording can also be prohibited in certain countries, so don't forget to inform yourself. Step number 11, create an IVR menu. As a next step, we are introducing IVR, or Interactive Voice Response. This feature helps you to navigate callers through different branches in order to connect with the right agents or group of agents. You can also communicate important information related to clients' issues. Similarly to playback settings, you can upload a greeting, record one, or search for an existing one. Yet, in the IVR setting, you also have to define how much time callers have to choose a next step from the IVR menu. After you click OK and save your initial IVR step, you can start with creating the next steps. To add a branch, click on the plus icon and choose what you want to happen next. Each branch has to have an associated IVR keyboard number. This determines what number the caller must press in order to get to that specific step. This is how it works in practice. Your initial IVR greeting can say the following: "Thank you for contacting CloudTalk customer support. For technical help, press 1. For billing issues, press 2. For invoices, press 3. Now you need to set a separate flow for each presented option. Let's take a look at an example. When callers press number 1, they are redirected to a specific agent in branch A. When callers press number 2, they are directed to another agent in branch B. When callers press number 3, they are redirected to a group of agents in branch C. Of course, you can choose any other step from the CallFlow Designer menu. IVR settings also allow you to add a failover option. To do so, in the new IVR step setting, tick the option Failover for no key pressed. This step initiates if the caller doesn't press any button for the amount of time set up on the IVR level. In your CallFlow, you will recognize it by this icon. IVR is a handy tool when you have multiple departments dealing with different issues, or if you have separate agent groups for different languages. This way, your callers will get assistance without being transferred back and forth, and you will boost your first call resolution rate. IVR also allows you to add self-service options, such as auto answers to simple questions. For example, how to log into an account. Thus, you won't need an agent for every single routine case. Simply record an answer, insert the recording behind the respective IVR step, and let automation do its work. We recommend double checking that the recorded answers are truly aligned with the provided self-service options. Next, there's the time router, a handy tool to route calls based on a predefined date and time. Click on the plus icon where you want to insert the time router and apply the action. Then add another action, for example, call to group. In call to group settings, you will now see time router settings. First, you need to set a time of the day when the branch is active. Branch active from sets a starting time for the action. Branch active to represents the end time for the action. Both times are displayed in a default time zone selected in general settings. Next, you can set days when the branch is active, or set it as active on holidays. You may choose one, more, or all options. Furthermore, you can create an action with a failover for no other time condition met option enabled. This action will apply for all times that aren't selected in your other time routed actions. Let's take a look at an example. Let's say that your Slovak call center is open during weekdays from 8 AM to 6 PM. If you set these attributes via time router, all of your call flows within this time range apply for the Slovak call center. Calls outside of your set time attributes are routed to, for example, your US call center. You can also create time routes based on groups. For example, if you have a day shift, evening shift, and night shift, you can easily route the calls coming, let's say between 8 AM and 4 PM, to the day shift, calls coming between 4 PM and midnight to the evening shift, and all calls coming between midnight and 8 AM to the night shift. And of course, there are holiday hours. You can use the time router to route an automated message, to a team that works at the time, or to a personal number. Step number 13, utilize the go-to feature. Now let's take a look at the go-to feature that comes with our expert plan. It's a great help when you want your new call flow to contain steps you have already used for another phone number. Instead of doing the same job twice, simply click on the plus button where you want to insert the flow, and from the menu, click Go To. In the Go To settings, choose a phone number containing the steps that you wish to insert, and select which step you'd like to use. This way you can quickly set the same call flow design for multiple numbers without having to copy and paste them. What's more, any changes you make in the original call flow design will automatically happen everywhere else. Step number 14, mark call as resolved. As the last feature, we introduced the mark call as resolved step. When added, it automatically marks a call as resolved after it reached a desired outcome. For example, you can use this step in one of your IVR branches where a solution to client's request was provided by automatic responder with no agent present on the call. Thanks to the mark call as resolved feature, this call will not be considered as unresolved even though it wasn't attended to. A great way to protect your KPIs from undeserved harm. That's all from the first part of our guide through CloudTalk's CallFlow Designer. Thank you for taking this journey with us, and buckle up. The next video with even more in-depth information is coming soon. You'll find out how to set up a condition splitter, how to collect inputs from callers, how to work with extensions, and more. And if you still need extra help, the CloudTalk team is always here for you. Contact our customer support through phone, email, or chat. Enjoy smooth calling. Thank you.